Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Sierra and I'm a certified health and weight loss coach with a background in psychology. Today I'm going to be sharing a list of the top 10 healthy foods that commonly lead people to gaining weight. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you've likely already heard me say that health and weight loss are not the same. Weight loss ultimately comes down to calories and creating a caloric deficit. In other words, burning more calories than you consume. And while foods that are healthy and foods that are weight loss friendly often overlap, many foods that are considered healthy can often be really high in calories and actually sabotage your weight loss goals. In addition, there are many foods that are marketed as healthy or weight loss friendly, but really aren't. And in this video, I want to go over what those foods are and why. So without further ado, here are the top 10 healthy foods that may be causing you to gain weight. So the first food on the list is more of a category, which will actually be the case for most of the foods on the list, and that's smoothies and fruit juices. Smoothies and fruit juices both fall into the category of liquid calories, which simply don't fill you up the same way solid food does, even if they're made with healthy ingredients. So while they can be very nutrient dense, they can also be very calorie dense, especially when they contain ingredients like high sugar fruits, syrups, and nut butters. Fruit juices in particular are stripped of fiber, leaving you with just the sugars that can spike your blood sugar levels and leave you feeling hungry soon after eating. Although there are definitely ways to make smoothies and fruit juices more weight loss friendly, such as using lower sugar fruits and vegetables, adding a source of protein, and avoiding too many calorie dense extras, I would still avoid relying on them if your goal is weight loss. Try saving smoothies and juices for when you're on the go or when you just want something light on your stomach, and stick to whole fruit and vegetables as much as possible. This will keep you feeling full and satisfied much longer, making it much easier to stick to a caloric deficit. The next food is salads, and particularly restaurant salads. Salads are a really popular choice for weight loss for good reason, as they're often packed with leafy greens and other fibrous vegetables, which are naturally low in calories and high in micronutrients. The problem with salads, however, especially salads you get at restaurants, is the dressing. Dressings can pack way more calories than you'd expect, and can turn an otherwise healthy choice into a very high-calorie meal. In fact, salads often end up being one of the highest calorie options on restaurant menus. So while they can still be healthy and are typically one of the best choices you can make for weight loss, you need to be mindful of the dressing, both in terms of the amount you use and the type of dressing. Ask for dressings on the side and only use a small amount, or opt for lower calorie options like vinegar-based dressings, mustard dressings, salsas, etc. to ensure your salad remains as weight loss friendly as possible. The next food is high-calorie fruits and vegetables. Obviously, fruits and vegetables are some of the best foods for weight loss. However, not all fruits and vegetables are created equally. Some fruits and vegetables are a lot more calorie-dense than others. For example, while high-fiber fruits like berries are very low in calories, high-sugar fruits like bananas are very high in calories. The same goes for starchy vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes, which are much more calorie-dense than higher-fiber vegetables like broccoli and leafy greens. So, although you definitely don't need to eliminate these foods entirely if your goal is weight loss, and in fact you probably shouldn't because they're still extremely good for you, they shouldn't be viewed in the same way as higher fiber fruits and vegetables. You need to be more mindful of your portion sizes and treat them more like a carbohydrate source rather than a fiber source. The next food on the list is healthy fats. Healthy fat sources, including foods like nuts, seeds, avocados, coconut products, olive oil, whole eggs, and fatty fish, are all great examples of foods that can be extremely healthy while also posing challenges for weight loss. Dietary fat is the most calorically dense macronutrient, with roughly 9 calories per gram, compared to protein and carbs with only 4 calories per gram. So while healthy fat sources are highly nutritious and essential to include in our diets for overall health, they're also very easy to consume because even very small amounts have a lot of calories. For example, just a handful of nuts or a couple tablespoons of olive oil can add hundreds of calories to your meal without you even realizing it. So once again, although you shouldn't cut out healthy fats entirely if your goal is weight loss, you definitely need to be mindful of your portion sizes. Treat healthy fats as small additions to your meals rather than the main component, and consider measuring your portion sizes with a food scale to ensure you're consuming an appropriate number of calories for your goals. The next category on the list is natural sweeteners, including things like honey, maple syrup, agave, and coconut sugar. Natural sweeteners are often seen as healthier alternatives to refined white sugar. However, while they may contain trace nutrients, they still impact blood sugar levels the same way regular sugar does, and are still quite high in calories. For example, a single tablespoon of honey or maple syrup has around 60 calories, which can add up extremely quickly if you're not careful. Overall, just because something is natural doesn't mean it's healthier or weight loss friendly. And natural sweeteners are a perfect example of that. So if weight loss is your main goal, stick to using sweeteners with 0 calories, such as stevia if you want a more natural option, or even artificial sweeteners. Although they're often seen as unhealthy, which I personally don't believe to be the case, but even if it was, they are still much better for weight loss than sweeteners like honey or maple syrup. A great example of how health and weight loss don't always overlap. The next category on my list is whole grains, particularly products that are marketed as whole grains, such as whole grain bread, pasta, crackers, and cereal. Although whole grain products are often considered to be healthier than refined grains like white bread, the majority of them are still highly processed and aren't much healthier than their refined grain counterparts. And the same can even be said about less processed forms of whole grains, such as oatmeal and brown rice. Even though whole grains do contain a little bit more fiber and nutrients than refined grains, they still have a very similar calorie count and can be just as easy to overconsume. For example, a cup of brown rice has pretty much the same calories as a cup of white rice and doesn't actually provide a significant amount of additional fiber or nutrients. So if weight loss is your goal, realize that it's actually fine to enjoy any grain or grain product. But like all the other foods on this list, the key is practicing moderation and being mindful of your portion sizes. The next food I want to mention is any healthy dry snack, including things like nuts, seeds, dried fruit, trail mix, granola, and granola bars. These foods are often marketed as healthy options since they're made with healthy ingredients like fruits, nuts, and oatmeal, but they also tend to be very calorically dense and easy to overconsume. For example, things like granola and trail mix are often loaded with added sugars and oils. But even if these snacks don't have any added sugars or oils, any food that lacks moisture is going to be inherently more calorically dense and less filling. For instance, the process of drying fruit essentially eliminates all of the volume while retaining all of the calories. In addition, like I mentioned, these snacks also tend to be hyper-palatable, making them very easy to overconsume. Overall, I would argue that these foods aren't much better than candies or chocolate bars when it comes to weight loss. These foods can still be a part of a healthy and balanced diet, but if weight loss is your main goal, it's best to consider these foods more like treats or occasional snacks rather than everyday staples. The next category is any food marketed as low-fat or fat-free, like low-fat yogurt, snack foods, and other diet foods. And here I'm not referring to naturally low-fat foods, but rather highly processed food products with misleading labels. Although these products are often marketed as healthier and better for weight loss, they're often no better than their full-fat counterparts, at least not to a significant degree. To replace the fat and improve taste, manufacturers often add extra sugar and other flavor enhancers, making them just as calorically dense and highly processed. In addition, the added sugar combined with the lack of fat can easily lead to spikes in blood sugar levels, causing cravings and increased hunger shortly after eating. If weight loss is your goal, it's essential to look at food products as a whole and avoid taking food labels at face value. A food may be labeled as healthy or low fat, but if it's still highly processed and loaded with extra sugar and calories, it's not going to be any better for weight loss. The next food on my list is protein bars and other protein snacks. Protein bars and snacks are often marketed as fitness-friendly options, but this isn't always the case. While they do contain added protein, which is very beneficial for weight loss, many brands also contain added sugars, syrups, fillers, and artificial ingredients to improve taste, making them more like candy bars in disguise. Not only are they just as calorically dense, but they're often just as palatable. And because people think they're better for them, this can easily lead to overeating. Now, some protein bars are definitely healthier than others, but generally speaking, even the healthier protein bars tend to be quite calorically dense. So it's probably not ideal to rely on them if your goal is weight loss. In my opinion, the best approach is to save protein bars for when you need a quick and convenient source of protein on the go. Otherwise, focus on getting your protein from whole foods such as lean meats and fish, or by making protein-rich desserts at home using sweet protein sources like protein powder and Greek yogurt. These options are typically higher in nutrients, lower in calories, and will keep you feeling full and satisfied much longer. The last main food on my list is another broad category, and it's any processed food that's marketed towards a specific diet. Many people believe that certain diets automatically support weight loss, but this simply isn't the case. If you've been watching my videos, you would know that the key to weight loss isn't the diet itself, but the calories. And just because something is labeled keto, vegan, or gluten-free doesn't automatically make it healthier or lower in calories. And in fact, it is often the opposite. For example, most low-carb and keto products are extremely high in dietary fat by definition, often making them even higher in calories than traditional junk foods. Similarly, a lot of people assume that vegan means healthier or low calorie, but vegan food can be just as processed and high calorie as any other food. Oreos, for example, are technically vegan, but they're obviously far from a weight loss friendly option. Gluten-free products and products with vegetables in the name, like gluten-free bread, veggie chips, and cauliflower pizza crust, can also be misleading. While they may seem healthier, once again, they can be just as processed and high calorie as their regular versions. Overall, if weight loss is your main goal, you should try to focus on whole, unprocessed foods as much as possible. And remember that diet labels don't always guarantee that a food is healthier or more weight loss friendly. So the last food I want to mention is a little bonus item because it's not any specific food, but rather it's any healthy food you don't personally enjoy. As I've said countless times on my channel, one of the main keys to successful weight loss is enjoyment. Even the healthiest foods won't support your weight loss goals if you don't enjoy eating them or find them too inconvenient to prepare. If you're forcing yourself to cut out all of your favorite foods or spending too much time making meals, it's going to be extremely difficult to stay consistent in the long run. And chances are you'll just end up resenting healthy eating and abandoning your weight loss plans altogether. For lasting weight loss results, focus on the healthy foods you truly enjoy and can easily fit into your daily routine. As I'll state again and again on my channel, the best diet for weight loss by far is the one that you enjoy and can stick to long term. And that wraps up my list of the top 10 healthy foods that typically cause people to gain weight. That being said, the most important thing to remember is that overall calories are what truly matter for weight loss. As I discussed in my last couple of videos, rather than focusing too much on individual foods, it's crucial to look at your diet as a whole. Any food can be a part of your diet if consumed in moderation, including every food mentioned on this list. And in fact, keeping your favorite foods in your diet with the right balance is exactly what will allow you to maintain your weight loss long term. As always, if you're interested in one-on-one health or weight loss coaching, or simply have any questions for me, feel free to check out my website, shoot me an email, or reach out to me on Instagram. And with that out of the way, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel so you never miss any of my future videos. See you guys soon!